mixture as much. There should be nothing really
Why is
for
he
the
making Hellbats? Why is he making Hellbats? They're not doing anything for him. That was my thing. Widow Mines would have been better against this composition. Siege Tanks would have been better. Hellbats accomplished nothing for him, really. I mean, they were always killed by Banelings. Hellbats, even though they have more hit points, they're still light units. Banelings trash Hellbats. The Hellbats do extra AoE, so what? The Banelings are going to blow up and kill him anyways. And he's not connecting with
The Hellbats are going to go whoosh once with their flamethrower before dying.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a huge mineral sink and factory production sink that could have been better used, I feel, with Widow Mines. I mean, almost pure bling Baneling. Widow Mines love to fire on that. Siege Tanks as well. That's what they like.
Yeah.
They want to blow those Zerglings into oblivion. Hellbats looked a little bit silly.
Maru might do better on this map, Yunsu. This is a map that a lot of people like to play a Zerg against. So let's see what happens here. Maru, the Terran Hope against Symbol, the better race, here at the GSL Code S.
Maru versus Symbol.
Well, I mean, this period of time will not be forgotten. This is the least representation we've ever had in the GSL. Even worse than like when the Zerg players there were like 5 or 6 Zergs in GSL.
I think it was 5. Yeah.
This is the least representation the race has ever had. And then in the round of 16, I mean, even in the round of 32, Terrans are being crushed left and right. It's just, people will sing like ballads of the last stand of Terrans.
I had to bet one thing, bet my life on that, would be that Byung does not get to the finals. Man, that's actually very well drawn.
It's a GSL mini webtoon.
There's a wolf with his glasses on, you know, drawing a
robot face, like
drawing a screaming robot face.
That's what I like to do in my spare time, actually. That's how I like to spend my Sundays.
Yeah,
I just sit in my room, put on some loud country music, and draw squares on a piece of paper and wear glasses that I don't need.
Yeah, then spend the rest of the night reading the Bible. I mean, that's what kind of guy Wolf is.
That's how I spend my Sundays, man.
Yeah. So we have a hatch first opening here.
Yeah, hatch first versus Reaper expand, as you might expect. As is the way of our players. The way of this matchup. It has been spoken that every game there will be a...
It is known, Khaleesi. It is known, Khaleesi.
Why do you even send that Overlord across the map? We know there will be a Reaper. It is known, Khaleesi.
It is known, Khaleesi, that he will open up Reaper. Now we're going to see if Maru's going to...
There's no mystery here. He knows it's not a Marine. He's pretty sure.
If he's going to get in his wooden horses, a.k.a. the Medivacs, and conquer King's Landing at the bottom left.
Doesn't seem likely.
This is one of these maps where they have the upper right. It's like it's. I think this is influenced by MOBAs, but there's like, you know, one sort of vegetation at the bottom left side of the map, and the upper right side of the map is different.
We had that on. Do you remember the map Dual Sight?
Of course.
That map wasn't very good, but the map was interesting.
It looked cool. I mean,
it had watchtowers as like warp gates. You remember that?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, here comes the first Reaper.
He's trying to get some scouting here. He wants to see how much gas has been mined if he can and force Zerglings out. Might kill one. No, good mic.
No, look at Symbol.
Well.
And it looks like he's just going to drive out that Reaper. Nicely done. The second Reaper's coming down here, and a third is on the way. We've seen different variations of this opening with the Reaper. So it's kind of cool to see exactly how he plays this.
Yeah. You know, I would have said almost with certainty that we would see mech on this map from Maru, but he continues to surprise me, right? He didn't do it in game 1.
Well, he's got his own way of playing the game, you know?
Yeah. He's just trying to tickle that queen. He knew he wasn't going to kill it, but he's just trying to
tickle her with his Reaper gun.
He's trolling.
He's trolling.
I'm just going to keep shooting you. I know I can't kill you, but to annoy you. You gotta reach
High Queen Kappa.
High Queen Kappa. I love the Kappa emoticon. Something I noticed. Oh, he's trying to trade here. He gets one. This is actually pretty cool. The queens are a little bit away.
Well, he probably thought it was going to add, but with the third Reaper here, he has a lot more options.
This makes more sense. He's not even just trolling. He's very serious about this.
Yeah. Craigasm. Yeah.
You know what I've noticed is if you look at my...
What's that, Frankers? What's that?
If you look at the Kappa Twitch emoticon, and when you look at my Twitter icon, like my little thumbnail on my Twitter, which is proximal if you guys haven't seen me on Twitter, it looks like a reverse Kappa.
Does it?
It kind of does if you look at it. If you look at it like from far away and you look at the Kappa icon, they almost look like they're looking at each other.
That was more blatant Twitter follow pandering than even me, Wolf. Wow.
That's what I do. Just check out my Twitter. Like,
right. Yeah,
if you find it interesting, you press the follow button. You know.
Yeah, man. Follow Wolf on Twitter. Actually, the thing I like about the Kappa face is it's almost like this like Mona Lisa-like face where it's like, is it smiling really or is it not? You know?
And it's funny because if you look at the original image, you would never think that like just cropping that head out would make such a internet phenomena.
It's so cool. Okay, so the game continues onward here. Very standard, just like we saw in the last game. We've been seeing from a lot of Terrans just getting the Reapers with the Hellions and the Banshees to apply some pressure to the front of the Zerg's base in the hopes that they maybe push through and get some drone kills, but at the bare minimum, at least force them to make Zerglings, which, of course, is not hard for them to deny.
Yeah. He has, a solid defense up here with his Queens. He gets one Zergling into the main base somehow, but SCVs have a lot of hit points, especially when their buddy helps out.
Yep. So he's got the wall in over here at the entrance so to stop counterattacking.
Yeah.
And it's pretty hard for Zerg to... hold on here. Okay, now we have some nice harass here, but of course he has enough transfuses.
Yeah, he's got the transfuses. Bases are connected, so the Queens are able to just move freely between them. He tries to come in here.
Oh!
Gets surrounded. Not a good angle. Not looking good
really
for Maru.
Really bad for Maru.
He
really
loses
bad.
everything.
Except that Banshee.
Except that Banshee. Everything on the ground is toast.
Man.
Simple likes it with butter, that toast, those units.
It does, yeah.
I mean, now he's lost all of his ability to pressure, meaning that Simple can put creep all over the map without worrying even slightly about Hellions slowing that down, worrying about his Queens at all. He can just relax right now. This is not a good place to be.
No, it really isn't, actually. Maru's now got a second squad coming out. Banshees do have Cloak.
One of the aspects of Terran as a race is that they're, I feel, a race that needs the most control, the most micro. And, if you mess up for just 1 second with your Hellions, which can beat Zerglings easily if you micro them, then you just lose everything, and you're like, oh, well.
This is a big difference between Protoss and Terran. For instance, Terran, you need to micro them a lot.
Yeah.
But with Protoss, it's about using the abilities in the proper order and executing those abilities correctly. Nice transfuse there again on the Queen. He guns down 2 drones.
Yeah. With 2 Banshees, you can one-shot a worker, so he's basically just floating around, see what he can find. Macro Hatch goes down. It looks like Simple's planning on playing the same style we saw in the previous game, just having that extra larva to make more Banelings. Baneling Nest, speaking of which, finishing up around the same time as the lair. Let's see what Maru does if he changes things up. I'd really like to see him just not make as many Hellbats,
Yeah. Well, the last game was a little bit weird overall. It seemed like he just did not have an answer for Banelings. Shoots down that Queen, it hits these drones.
Yeah, he's just... he's finding little angles here to poke with, and it's actually... He's getting a lot more kills than I thought.
Yeah, this is the damage Maru needed to do in Game 1 to have at least some momentum.
Hey, you mentioned, like, when you go for 2 Cloak Banshees, that's so much gas with the Cloak.
Oh,
meanwhile, a huge counterattack. He needs to get that depot up, but if he does, he's going to sack the Hellions. So he has decided to run away.
Symbol's harass has been quite effective. Just stopping those Hellions dead in their tracks. Here we have Spire now about halfway done here for Symbol. Symbol steadily getting into the phase of the game that he's so good at, getting to that late game. The Barracks explosion is about to complete here, and now Maru's going to be able to crank out a lot of Marines, Marauders, and Medevacs.
Yeah. I mean, if he just goes pure Marine Hellbat again, I don't think that's the answer. He's actually missing an upgrade, as our observer just pointed out. He only has the +2 attack coming up, but no +2 armor, whereas Symbol is not messing up. He's just, doing what you would expect him to do, is to continue to get double upgrades out. And Maru needs to realize this, because being an armor upgrade down against the Zerg players is horrible.
Okay, he's coming in here now. Oh, but the banelings are done. Now, if he gets the right angle here with these Hellions, but he doesn't.
Nope.
So it doesn't matter.
Big if there. He's actually doing okay against the banelings, though, with his Banshees. If he can keep poking forward and start to do that. It's just way too many banelings here. But he does trade okay with those Banshees.
Oh my god, but the nice counter over here. And he's going to just take out a few SCVs. Don't normally see counters like that with just the banelings there too.
Yeah.
You know, but that's a good response there to a Terran who's walled in. Just get rid of his depots at least and then try to get some SCVs.
He has so many banelings on the way, 21 of them being added right now. With the macro hatch, he just has all this extra larva.
You know, the problem for Maru right now is he does not have ground control.
Yeah.
If a Symbol engages, he can usually win. The only thing Symbol doesn't have a great answer for just yet is no real solid anti-air. He has queens and stuff like that, but he can't really use those offensively.
Once the mutas come out, though, this is going to change. And he already has his +1 halfway done. 43 banelings already on the map. Again, he's just taking the approach of more banelings than Marines is the way to go. And again, we see Hellbats. Hellbats are great against Zerglings, but watch this as the banelings detonate here. The Hellbats don't really get anything done. They're great against the Zerglings, but if you have this many banelings, I don't
Nice
know.
connections there.
So now the Hellbats are gone.
He picks up again.
Banshee gets picked off there by that Spore Crawler. Things are going from bad to worse here for Maru. He does get a few things, though. I mean, trade's okay here. And there's still no 4th base for Symbol. And there's a 3rd base
Symbol
on
might
Maru.
be okay, though, powering on 3 for a little bit here. You have to consider how many units have actually picked off here that are Terran, right?
Yeah.
It's not like he's massing up this big powerhouse army. In fact, it's pretty even so far.
This is really scary, man. There's 40 banelings in this composition, and he's just rolling in with them.
And I don't see much to defend here. He did block off those rocks there, but already so many lings have come up now. Banelings now coming around. Reinforcements from Maru here coming down to try to save the day. So many kills, though, here for these lings.
Speaking of saving the day, I really feel like killing those rocks saved the day for Maru. He might have actually just lost his 3rd base there. I mean, there were so many banelings.
Use these banelings to blow up the rocks now.
I wouldn't put it past him after what we've seen so far this game. That Banshee has 26 kills, really pulling her weight. Not to say that she's overweight or anything, I'm just saying.
No. So the Banshees are now pushing out here and just driving out anything else that's remaining.
Scans going down. Maru's like, wow, you're really just making pure banelings. Thank you. Siege tank, Maru. The siege tank is coming in. I really like this. He's identified, okay, you're literally just making banelings. That's it. You're making Zerglings, and then you're just making them into banelings. You're not even really fighting with Zerglings. You have almost purely banelings in your army. 2 siege tanks at a time production. That makes sense.
My god. And now he's going to get over here. And these workers are going to be in a lot of trouble.
Oh, they certainly are. Oh, tasteless. Oh, wow.
Oh my god, that was such a good detonation.
And he's still getting more here on the main base.
That was like
more
10
banelings.
out of 10. If I had to do the Olympic scores right now, like this was a diving competition, I'd give it 10s.
No, you don't have any bad marks on your history for
I don't.
giving any weird ratings to people.
No, no corruption here.
No corruption.
And, you know, again, the harass here from Maru is rendered impotent.
That Hellbat, oh my god. But, I mean, the siege tank switch is smart, right?
Yeah,
because
he needs to get the siege tanks out.
I like this because it's just so much AoE damage to basically pure banelings. 49 banelings.
Look at that, man.
I mean, you remember the old days of Artosis saying so many banelings? I just want to play his soundboard right now.
Yeah, I know. We can never actually capture that again.
Yeah. This base will just like land on top of banelings and explode.
It's like the worst way to lose it.
Look at how many banelings this is. This is like a joke. It looks like a joke. Here we go. Siege tank on the high ground. 80 banelings. 80 banelings. Look at the supply too. He's actually down in supply. He never got a 4th base. This Zerg player never.
Yeah, Maru actually might still win this.
Yeah, I mean,
because he doesn't have a 4th, but
Maru's taken a 4th himself. Oh, 4 base against 3 base. That's pretty rare.
It's not up and running just yet. It doesn't have any mining there, but that's going to happen very quickly here.
Yeah, very soon.
Let's see if this attack here from Maru could be effective. Now, he has tanks. The question is, does he have enough tanks?
That is indeed the question. I mean, he has... Is that what, 7 we saw? He has a lot of tanks, then he just need to make sure they're all there. I like Maru's chances. Look at the army supply. He's 40 up. It's all about his splitting and his siege tank connects. You know, how many good shots does he get off here?
And if he can snipe any of these tanks, that would help out tremendously.
Look at the counts in units. 77 Banelings versus 66 Marines. Those 8 siege tanks are worth they have to be worth their cost. Because without those, the Marine army supply is just basically a moot point. That's a bit of a late creep spread there. He's just trying to make things look dirty.
Just getting the command center a little dirty there. Okay, well, here come the Banelings now. And combination with the Mutas. And it does look like just bit. That's it. Symbol taps out. GG.
Yeah, he
never got a 4th base.
He never got any tech either. He never got infestors out or tried to get into.
It looks like he tried to just kill the 3rd base, and then Maru knocked down the rocks, and then Symbol had too many Banelings and therefore couldn't get the rocks down again.
And Maru actually responded appropriately this time, and just instead of just making more Hellbats. So yeah, that rock kill, the collapsible rock tower, whatever you want to call it, that rock
collapsible rock tower. Is that's
the technical term?
The technical term, of course.
That's the fusion cutter, the SV's attack. You were talking about those Ro32s, just the people who know like the exact unit attack names.
Yeah. Well, like when I was listening to Claire's cast, and he's like, javelin missiles, they're just so strong, and I'm like, what's a javelin missile? I have no idea what that is.
I used to know a lot of those, but I don't really anymore. Like there's Phase Disruptor is the Stalker. There's like Phase. Oh god, I don't know, man. Like I used to know all the Stalker attack and the Immortal attack. Like it levels up the way that it's described. I'll say Phase. Like one's like Destroyer, one's Dismantler or something.
Our next map is going to be Ultrazeme Stronghold. That was picked by Symbol. They are 1-1 right now.
For Symbol's playstyle, this makes perfect sense. This map is it's like 2 maps in one. That's how big it is.
Well, I mean, this is like the Zergiest map.
This is like when you look at the mini map, every dot's the same size. Like a command center dot's the same size. It's like a Zergling dot. That's how big the map is.
Yeah, this is the biggest map we've had. And Zergs like big maps.
Yeah, you're very safe against aggressive styles like we've seen from Maru. Maru's chances, the Terran Hope here, they rest all on this game 3. If he loses this, it's all over for him. He drops out 4th place. Same to be said of Teamless Symbol right now.
We're going to have a sad ending no matter what. Either only one Terran in the round of 16 or Symbol in a very tense moment in his career being teamless and probably trying to be picked up. Getting knocked out here in the round of 32. After this game, one of these 2 players is going to be out of the GSL Code S.